Hi, thank you for joining me today. I'm glad that you're here. I've been working on a project for the past couple of months that required me to mix the color brown. I don't have a dedicated brown in my Daniel Smith watercolor palette, so I always create my own when I'm working from this palette. It got me thinking that this would be a great topic to share with anybody not yet familiar with color mixing. Did you know that you'll get brown if you mix yellow and purple together? You'll get brown if you mix red and yellow and blue, and if you think about it, purple is a combination of red and blue. So when you add the yellow, that's when you'll end up with brown. If you're watching this video because you follow me on the socials, you'll know that runner ducks have been the subject for my June daily habits. Some runner ducks are brown, so I chose to draw them here in my sketchbook for this demonstration. If you'd like to sketch and paint along with me, pause this video and go grab your supplies. You'll need your sketchbook or a scrap piece of watercolor paper, a pencil, an eraser. Mine is the kneaded rubber type. You'll need an ink pen. I'm using a Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen. You'll need watercolors and a large brush or two. I'm using Daniel Smith Nickel Azo Yellow, Imperial Purple, and Aussie Red Gold. It would be okay to just use yellow and purple, but I've been using the Aussie Red Gold for a little extra warmth, so I am including that in this demonstration. If runner ducks just aren't your thing, don't feel that you have to draw them. How many different subjects can you imagine that are the color brown? I thought of a few. I had a cat, a rabbit, a dog, a squirrel, a beaver, a mouse, autumn leaves, a horse, a bird, a monkey, a sock monkey, a goat, mushrooms, chocolate cake, ice cream, gingerbread, and a teddy bear. I had fox and pumpkins also. Those are mostly yellow-orange, but you would use brown for the shadows. And I'm sure you can think of something that I've missed. Now, I'm not going to be careful with putting the color on the paper. I am intentionally doing this in a very messy fashion, and I challenge you to do that as well. I know that it's going to be difficult, but we just need to ignore the lines and get the color on the paper. Sometimes the color goes down a little more saturated, and I grab some water and kind of pull that out. Mostly what I want to discover is how these colors, when the color goes down on the paper together, how do they mix? How do they play? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the play of the colors together on the paper. I want to find the brown. I want to see when there's more orange and purple together, I want to see how that looks compared to when there's more yellow and purple together. Remember that this is an exercise and that we're playing. This is just for fun. It's for research. Don't take this too seriously. We are exploring our options. Now that the background is good and messy, it's time to fill in the outline of the ducks. This is an opportunity to further layer purple with yellow and orange to see the variations of brown that we can achieve. Spatters are optional, but I think they're fun. I'm going to add a layer of color to help break the ducks away from the background. I'm painting a wash of yellow on the first duck and orange on the second duck, and I'll add purple to each of the ducks to create a deeper brown. Some areas are more saturated than others to create shadows and texture. We do have to be careful because this is the place where it can be easy to overwork the painting. I'm going to kind of speed through this next part, but you'll get the idea of what's happening. On the other side of the page, I'm creating 3 pools of color so that they meet and touch each other in the center. This is not going to be perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's just information. I first lay down the lighter values and then come back and add a layer of darker values and then kind of mix them together to create brown in the center. I think sometimes it's okay to just have some messy fun. It's okay to explore without a real plan. I think that in those moments that magic can happen, and that's when we discover something new and unexpected. To finish up, I'm going to create a little swatch as a reference so that later I can see what colors I used on this page. My first square is going to contain all of the colors together to represent brown. The next square is Imperial Purple, the square after that is the Nickel Azo Yellow, and lastly I put down the Aussie Red Gold. I added Imperial Purple back to that first square to darken the brown. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope that this demonstration encourages you to play and explore new color combinations using a limited color palette. I would love to see what subject you chose to include in your sketchbook for this exercise. Please tag me at Beck and Rose so that I know that this was meaningful to you.